thankful all of us are here today. And, I think I start every meeting the same way. I love Zoom. This is a game changer for all of us. I love the fact that we got the Potters in the West Coast and Lisa in Texas and Rick in New York City. And, we got Peter in Atlanta. We got people from one side of the country to the other coming together, which, is so powerful when it comes to what we have our hands on today. So I don't want to take up too much time. I want to get things started. First of which, if you guys can just stay on mute, that would be wonderful. And then we're going to get a chance to open it up for questions. And I want to, number one, introduce the gentleman that asked us to put this together. And I'm so excited that he did, that he volunteered, his precious time to be on here with all of us. And Greg, I want to first let you know that each of these individuals that are coming online, that are already online, are the greatest people that we've had the pleasure to get to work with. And when I talk about leadership, and you look at that definition, every one of these individuals exemplify what that definition means. And so not only from a business perspective, but also on a personal level, these are just some amazing individuals. And what we did is in the beginning of June, we ran a contest and we said, if you're an ETL in the first 10 days of the month, if you put in 5 IBOs, you qualify for today's event. If you're a regional director and you put in 10 IBOs in the 10 days of the month, you qualify. And each of these individuals actually went out and did it. In some cases, Greg, Peter said, I'll die before I won't be on this call. I know there's many people that had that mindset, Lisa and others that said, look, I will not miss an opportunity to be on a Zoom call with Greg. And I know Desiree feels the same way and many other people that are on here. So Greg, I know how special it is to have this type of leadership come together. And I feel so privileged to have the opportunity for you to get a chance to meet them and for them to get a chance to meet you. So without any further ado, let's give him a virtual round of applause, everybody. The president and co-founder, Mr. Greg Provenzano, for being on here with us today. And Greg, I'm gonna turn the call over to you. And I want to start by, again, thanking you for making time for this special group of leaders.
Thank you, buddy. And I appreciate the invite to be in front of all these wonderful people. And I do know that each of you had to qualify to be on this very special call. It's special for me. I hope it's going to be special for you. But the thing that I love about being on a call such as this is that you guys have separated the wheat from the chaff. And everybody had the same opportunity that you did. You decided to step up. You decided to take advantage of this window of time to be on this call. And so I want to make it as fruitful as possible for each of you. And I love being on a call with the Mazer Group, and not just because he's on the line here today, but the reality is you all have an opportunity to follow people that are just, not at the top of their game, not at the top of the leadership charts in ACN, but I'm talking about people that truly continue to get in the trenches with you each and every day. Whenever I put a phone call into Pat or Mike, 9 times out of 10, they're not answering the phone, and it's because they're busy doing something. And you always got to leave a message, leave a text message, whatever the case may be. I love that about your leadership team. And one of the key characteristics to great leaders is that they will continue to do the things that most people are not willing to do, and never ask you to do something that they're not willing to continue to do. And that's the definition of Mike and Pat Mazer. And so it's always a pleasure to be on a call with them. It's always an honor to be on a call with all of you. And I just can't wait to hear some of the questions that are going to come my way, because I think it's important not only for you to get a glimpse of what to do, but that's very easy to come by nowadays. There's so much information out there that you have access to. But I think one of the most valuable things that we all can do as leaders and up and coming leaders is to really understand who you're in business with. And that's why we've designed this Zoom call today because this is a time for you to ask questions. It's a time for you to really hone in on maybe one or two items that maybe you need to overcome. And don't think that you're alone in this pursuit, because there's everybody that's on this call has things that they wish that they knew that they could just get an answer to and just be off and running on their way to becoming senior vice presidents within ACN. So that's my goal. My goal is to give you additional insight, possibly give you some wisdom that I've been able to glean over the last few decades that I've been doing this. And one of the advantages that I have is that because I've been doing this for so long, I've interacted with literally tens of thousands of people, had conversations with a lot of them. And when you have conversations with that many people, you start to gain some wisdom and to identify patterns with people that gives them an advantage or a disadvantage depending upon what they do. And so I would like to offer you some of those things that I've gained over the years. And so we've designed this session just to be very informal. I have nothing prepared to give to you. I do have some things that I would like to share with you. And if those things don't come out during the question and answer period, I'd be more than happy to make sure you get those before we end this call. Is that a deal for everyone? Great. So let's just start off with whoever wants to ask away. I'd be more than happy to start answering.
Mr. Provenzano, this is Poppy Massey out of California. Thank you so much for doing this for us. We have so much respect for you and just admiration.
Thank you.
What you've been able to do. From the standpoint of mindset, there's some crazy stuff going on right now.
You think?
Yeah. What kind of mental habits do you do? Like, what's your miracle morning look like? And what books are you reading other than the Bible, of course, to help you stay focused on your why and your goal?
Yeah. That's a really, really good question. And because I believe that what you focus on is what you ultimately will get. And, there's no lack of information today. I'm sure you would agree with that. You can have access to anything that you want to have access to. And so one of the very first things that I can tell you that I know that will be beneficial for you is that you must be intentional with the direction that you want to lead your life. Because whatever you have access to, whatever you allow to rent space in your brain is going to ultimately determine your attitude, which determines your habits, which will determine the outcome for your life. So I'll give you an example. If you believe in God, or if you are an atheist, those two beliefs will determine the direction for your life and how you treat people, how you interact with people. So we're one individual, right, dependent upon their belief system, will determine the direction that they take for their life. Same thing in business. If you believe really in your heart of hearts that ACN is the greatest opportunity you could ever give someone, you're going to have a totally different set of results than somebody that's questioning whether or not this truly is for everyone. Because if you adopt that second belief system, you will not approach the marketplace with as much attitude, if you will, that you need in order to attract the right kind of people to your business. And so what you put into your brain, what you allow to rent space in your head, will be the determining factor for the end result for your life. Now, we're specifically talking about ACN right now. And so what I choose to do every single day without question is I choose to read, I choose to listen, I